Hey, shooting out there.
I don't want to die a virgin.
Get your old ass down, man.
I ain't getting down there. It take me too long to get back up.
Hey everyone, welcome to today's episode of Cinema Circle, the show where we talk and review all your favorite movies coming out of Hollywood. A show for the fans, by the fans. I'll be your host today, Kiki SB, and with me we have...
Mr. Scenario Shaquille VonJevy.
And today we will be talking about Barber Shop 3. So I didn't personally watch the movie, but...
This guy did.
Yeah. So I'll be asking him about the movie and he'll be answering.
All right.
What did you think about... Did you watch any of the trailers, first of all?
Yeah, I watched the first trailer. I watched the first trailer for it. So, I'll start off with like the good or whatever. The trailers I thought were fine. It captured what the barbershop was when the first one came out. So I thought it was fine.
Yeah, I think I watched the first trailer too.
What do you think of it?
It was good. I mean, I'm familiar with it. So, it just basically showed us what the movie was about.
Yeah, in a nutshell, right? So it was still good.
So what do you think about the casting?
Okay. With the casting, I thought the casting was fine because you're just bringing back the old cast from the previous movies that, we grew up with watching those movies. But one thing, they added Nicki Minaj. And one thing that I noticed in the trailer was that I felt like when I watched the trailer that they downplayed Eve for Nicki Minaj. Because, back then when it came out, Eve was the poppin' rapper at that time. And then now Nicki Minaj is the poppin' female rapper at that now. So I felt like they kind of like downplayed her, but,
Yeah, so in terms of overall, like the good of the movie, what were the good points for you? What did you enjoy about watching the movie?
Well, the movie made me laugh. The movie was funny. It had like a feel good, like all the characters were good. They had good chemistry between each other because again it's the third one and they're all friends, right? So like the actors are all friends. They've all worked with each other multiple times before. So I thought that the chemistry between the actors was good, and I thought that there was story, like it wasn't just stupid comedy. There was story and substance to it, right? So I thought that it was a fun popcorn movie. Nothing crazy and over the top, but it's a good movie for like if you want to have like a date night.
Is it worth your money watching in theaters?
For me personally, it's more of a movie that you would watch at home, just chilling. You have some friends or a date or whatever, and you guys just throw it on and you guys watch and you guys have a good time. But the fact that it is a third one, you could kind of give it a little bit of a blah because it's just rehashing some of the stuff that we've already seen before, right? So there's nothing really like special about this one.
Nothing new, pretty much.
Nothing new. It's just having this, like getting the family back together and having a good time, just laughing and enjoying it.
So what were the bad parts about this movie? What did you not enjoy? What was like, you could pass on?
Well, okay. This movie is very, it's more, not that I didn't like it. It was a very political movie. And I thought that was also like a good thing about it because it's also making you think. It's also like some kind of substance to it. But what I didn't like about it was that I almost felt like at some points it was a little bit preachy. And I don't like preachy movies. When they're trying to, it was more like, it didn't seem like a film to me. It felt like almost like a stage show.
Okay.
They would come out and say their lines when they're trying to be all preachy and stuff, and they're talking to the audience, and it's like they're trying to educate you on something, but you're not really learning anything because they would skim the surface of certain issues that we're having, and they would just skim the surface of some of the issues they're having, but you're not really learning and taking anything away from it. They would just mention,
like throw it in there.
Yeah, just throw it in there. Also, sorry, one of the good things that I did like about it was that it did touch it spoke on like they had like some stuff in the movie where like we would have those kind of conversations, like we would have that conversation in real life. This is what would actually happen in a barbershop. But on the flip side of that, what I didn't like about it is that it wasn't genuine. You know what I mean? Like it just sounded scripted. Even though these are real conversations, it just sounded scripted.
Okay, so it was kind of not as realistic as a real life barbershop scenario.
Right. Like, even though the conversations were real, it wasn't it didn't come across real. Another thing that I didn't like was it felt like a script that was written back in 2005, like right after Barber Shop 2, and then dug back up in 2016, and then they're like, oh, how do we make this a little bit more modern? Okay, let's throw in the Instagram jokes, let's throw in the Snapchat jokes, let's throw in, you know, like little jokes or whatever.
Things that are more relevant
more
now.
relevant. But in the movie, they rehash some old jokes, like, you know, when you cut a man's head and you get him in the boss spot, like that was in every single movie, and like an R. Kelly joke.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Who's not relevant to today.
Right. And that's a joke that they already had in the previous movies. So, and they brought that back up again, and it's just like, bro, is this an old script that you guys are just dashing new things in? Right? So that's, I didn't really care for that. So
what would you rate this movie overall? What would your overall rating be?
my overall rating for this movie would be, I'm going to give it a 6, just because it's a fun popcorn movie.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's generous of you.
It is generous. It is very generous, actually.
Especially for you. Like, what did you give Deadpool?
7.8. Like, it is generous of me, just because, like, it wasn't a throwaway movie in the sense that, oh, they just did the movie and that's it, right?
Okay.
It was more of, like, there was some substance to it. There was story. There was connection of family and raising a son. And this movie is definitely for, like, I don't think that this movie was for me. I feel like this movie was for Chicago, because this is where the movie's based, and there's a lot of stuff happening in Chicago right now.
So for like that community.
Because they spoke about all the problems that's going on in Chicago, and how can they fix it. And that's what I liked about it. I thought that it's not just to, oh, we're just gonna laugh and joke around and eat popcorn, whatever. There's
some serious messages in there as well.
Some very serious messages in there that you cannot take lightly, because it is real stuff like that's happening. So yeah, that's why I give it a 6, just because of the content and because of the seriousness of it. And then they also made me laugh. But if they didn't have any of that kind of stuff, then it's just a throwaway movie. But
so the genre was comedy. That Barbershop genre is comedy.
Yeah, it's comedy. Like they do want to make you laugh. But they're also a little bit preachy.
Okay. You have any closing thoughts about this movie?
No. If you guys want to go check it out, you guys should, especially if you guys grew up with the other two. It does bring you back to the other two, because it is still the same crew minus Michael Ealy. But it's a good little movie. But don't be mad at yourself if you miss it out of theaters. You can always catch it on Netflix when it comes out, or on Blu-ray. So yeah.
Now I will definitely be watching it online.
Or online, right? So it's not nothing that you need to rush out and go see. But it definitely is a laugher of a movie, if that's even a word.
Yeah. Okay, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at cinema_circle. Or if you have any questions regarding the show, or if you want to email any of us, you can send us an email at cinemacircle1@gmail.com.
All right, from everyone here at Cinema Circle, stay blessed and always keep it 100.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Also click like, share, and subscribe.